That's huge for them. Walking over those two mines again, going to be deciding quite a lot of this game. It's 10-10 now, and KCN still in this one. Playing over the right-hand side with Sandy the majority of the gems. It just doesn't help that this Mortis has got one. It kind of stops him from going aggressive, because if he hands that one over, the game's done.
Hypercharge there from Batman's going to be coming out. Sosa desperately trying to go into the backlines. They managed to get one super off there, and most of the gems in the other way. Can they extract though? We see Takadachi and Sosa trying to hand-in-hand extract there. The bomb is not going to connect. Nem now throwing bodies at Battleman, trying to prevent the reset as best as they can. Big stun there onto Battleman. Should be able to get the stun. Sosa even comes in with yet another pitch of the night there. Great comeback there from KCN. And Suzuku kind of mispositioned there. Didn't hug Battleman close enough for the safety.
Yeah, really nice move from the Mortis in the backlines there. Managed to go in, gets the gems, gets them out, and then survives so well towards the end as well with that amount of pressure on the spike, the Chester barreling forwards and kind of dashing in, dashing out, avoiding those shots. And Zeta Division surely going to be a little bit more worried now. They have been two incredibly close games, but KCN just turning that one on its head.
This last pick, Mortis, is coming in as the X factor that KCN need to take this one down. But you can see Zeta, they're making the adjustments already. Battleman going aggressively on the hunt, kind of foregoing that mid position. And wow, Trap, can I just say, this man, he's so lucky. He is so lucky with these bombs. In the first game, the win condition mostly was opening up that map together with the bow mines, and he's already got it done. I mean, you've got 4 gems in KCN, but Zeta are playing the long game.
I mean, it's the name of the game with Chester. You've got to have that kind of aspect of luck along with it as well, and gets the stun there too. Really nice for him in that instance, but haven't managed to get the kill yet. Should be pinched down as Suzuku, getting some more mines placed as well. Goes to try and get that wall out of the way, which you will. That mine just narrowly evading them there, and almost got these gems back to their side. Fast Blast to the right-hand side, but control all in Zeta Division's hands, and that right side of the map is ripped up.
Total map domination coming out here from Zeta Division. We're seeing the start of a spawn trap here. Battleman even once more here with that hypercharged super. Connects with 2 there. Nem is going to fall here inevitably to the poison. Sosa is desperately trying to open up the position for the team. But just look at Sit It Down, boys. Just completely locking in there. He's going to be taken down there by Sosa. That's going to relieve some pressure and allow KCN to come back into the mid.
Massively needed kill there from Sosa to get that left-hand side down. But the stun comes in, and another great super for Batman to have. He's getting all the luck in the world here with the Chester supers. Sandy trying to make a move around the left-hand side and doing a good job of it, trying to keep control. And now the fast splatter place once more. Got to be very cautious, more Mortis super there, and actually Bo's going to pick that one up. That's not going to go too well for KCN at that point, and he's burning down up top. Good shots coming in, and down another player of KCN goes. Batman just waiting in the mid for this last one, but almost goes down. There's the 10th gem, and that's going to be enough.
Just desperation coming out from KCN. I respect the hustle there from Sosa, but it's not going to be enough. He's going to have a second opportunity here, but we see Battleman already popping the hypercharge just for the stats for now. Now the bomb drops inside the mid, and there's no way Takadachi on the Sandy can do anything here. Zeta Division, they're going to walk away with set number 1.
Well, the result goes as expected, but the journey there really wasn't. KCN putting up a big fight here, and you can see why they managed to get a set off them in those qualifiers. Obviously, still losing a 3-1, but that was a really good and very convincing performance from KCN.
I like the fire in them. We talked about how the bow could have been a potential weakness in Assassins and double switches of map in general. And KCN, rather than playing into Zeta Division's strengths, they decided to go for this X factor like Brawlers. And, you know, they go straight for the jugular here. The Mortis was a fantastic pickup, but I gotta say, execution level, not there yet. Perhaps if this was a different kind of, you know, top-tier team that really practiced the type of strategies, that this could have been worked out. Honestly, I like KCN's draft more, but Zeta are just better.
KCN actually got super close to taking that set, took a game off the hands of Zeta Division, which many of us probably didn't even expect to happen. That Mortis definitely was the last pick they should pick up. The spike and the Chester, despite the huge DPS they dish out, weren't quite enough to stop Sosa. He did a phenomenal job, but as you said, in the end, it's team play. It's not only individual skill, and Sosa proved that he can play Mortis, but there was a little bit of not enough support from the back.
Yeah, I mean, you're looking at the stats now, and you can see Takadachi just 74 DPS, 2 kills. He's not going to be getting anywhere near enough supers with that kind of DPS. Definitely getting dominated down the lanes there. So Sosa can only do so much. 10 kills, really solid from him. 252 DPS, very good against, you know, the Chester and the Spike that he's going to be faced with. And as you've said, Sonny, he did a really good job, but it's just not enough here against Zeta Division.
I think it's important to mention here as well, by the way, we talked about Menmi beforehand, the player who was playing all the way back in 2021. He's now named Takadachi, that's the Japanese lettering in-game. And then we have Yume, who's now called Sosa. So just to clear up some confusion, they had a couple of name changes. Whiskers, they're good, right? And we now will refer to them, of course, only in their new, fresh, polished names. Do you want to rename as well, or are you going to stick to Wiggly Spoon?
I've renamed myself once already. We've dropped the Wiggly and that's just Spoon out. But heading over to a map that hasn't been renamed. I mean, Dueling Beetles is a fantastic map, of course. And unfortunately, Trav, as I mentioned before, this is all Zeta maps. This is maps that aggression.
Mix really solid at the moment. That gadget is really difficult to miss. You don't even have to aim it, it just does it all itself. That's the best thing about it. You can kind of pinch with yourself rather than relying on your teammates. So I like that. Ziggy definitely going to be a little bit susceptible to some more aggression, but that's when Chester comes in with, you know, the more defensive capabilities. But Meeple rounds out that composition. Going to be able to shoot through some walls, which can be good to get rid of the, the likes of the M's who's going to be sitting behind.
Meeple, of course, super strong on the right-hand side. Thanks to Meeple's mention, you have so much control. Could even switch out to stun his opponents if there's going to be coming in something aggressive on the left-hand side. Now, honestly, if I was Zeta now, you could just open up the map against that Ziggy. Would help you a lot. They go with a different strategy, though. Kenji is going to take care of that thrower.
Who needs to open up the map when you can just run it down?
Exactly.
Typical East Asia, right?
Very East Asia mentality.
Yeah, we're not EMEA. We don't use our strategy to win. We just move our fingers a little bit faster, and then we just diff every other region. That is what I love about East Asia.
Yeah, I mean, the Kenji pick, as you said, open it up probably would do them a lot of help. Kind of take the Meeple out the game, take the Ziggy out the game a bit more, but, why not just run it down?
Which comp do you prefer, guys?
Listen, I'm just going to say Zeta because I think they're going to win and it'll make me sound a bit smarter.
Cool. Just the comp, Trev, not the team.
So jumping into this second set, though, Zeta Division lead out by 1, and we fully expect full aggression to come in here from Suzuku, which is what they've done. And now he's going to be dishing out of there, but 15% on the board, a quick advantage there for Zeta.
Well, lurking in this back part now, waiting for someone to step out of line that they can punish. So becoming a bit more aggressive now in the invis there from Batman. Kind of waited a little bit, just baiting out some of that ammo. Suzuku moving up, there's the super. Suzuku will need to get out of the way, find some shots, get some kills. He does get a nice gadget in there as well. The stun comes through, so won't be running that Meeple's Mansion. It's kind of expected against this competition. I feel with the Leon invis, the Kenji going super aggressive. And that super, it didn't do too much, pushed them back momentarily, but instantly back in the mix.
Leon is just causing so much chaos here. Battleman got his super just way too early in this game. And KCN, they just haven't seemed to find any kind of footing here. Yes, you've got Ziggy supers coming online, and eventually you'll have some of these hypercharges. But for the moment, they've just lacked in permanence. There's no way to stay on the point.
I mean, that bomb did absolutely nothing. He cycled his super quite well, but even going down, he gets damage. And here's the Leon hyper around the back, trying to find Sosa, and does. And now the Ziggy just all alone, kind of sitting here, waiting to die, and then gets slowed there as well. The super is going to be used along with the hypercharge so we can hide in this wall with 21 HP, but the M super does not care about that.
Yesterday's meta called, and it basically is what KCN
the region already qualified to Brawl Cup and looking like the most consistent East Asian team. This first seed against 8, this is surely going to be domination, and I'm sure they'll carry on like this.
Second game, though, it's another chance for KCN to make a comeback here, but once again, the lane assignments just not going well here. Sosa's going to fall immediately. Okay, at the very least, Takadachi will bring down Battleman, so that's one less thorn in their side. But he's still got Suzuki and Sitadampo just hanging out in the mid. They're just sipping, coffees here right now.
I believe he wasted his super there as well. Batman, he picked him up whilst he was kind of in that fast smoke trail speed. Places the gadget just to try and juke around a few people here and let Shitampo come back into the mix. And he's doing a great job of just staying alive. Batman, Suzuku, the same. He's kind of the spearhead going super aggressive and just soaking up all the Ziggy shots and not getting
it's just the strength of this Kenji is starting to really show here. Siddhartha will get clipped here by this Ziggy Super, but it just pushes them out momentarily. You're not dealing with Suzuka, and now with Siddhartha and Batman coming back in, they're going to get two very, very quick kills. Batman even one. Sosa is just going to be going in. He says, I'll take this guy down myself. Side, you can just chill in the mid. Yeah, Jawbreaker is going to bring him down here, but it's all about the objective. 70% to 10 now.
Really needed that stun in that situation and got exactly what he wanted, but it's up to 75% now, jumping kind of over that Ziggy Super, but lands straight back onto a Chester bomb there. Gadget placed on the left-hand side by the Leon, just soaking up some of these shots, wasting the ammo, and Ziggy will eventually get that down. Stampo running forward, and that's the kind of over-aggression that allows teams to flip games around, but Suzuki following him behind him will fall too. Batman pops a Hyper, and there's a chance. They've got control, they've got the Ziggy here, they've got the Super, Hypercharge as well with the Chester, but Zeta have just got to be a bit more calm and composed.
That was a bit sloppy, I'm not gonna lie there, Trav, and that's a big opening KCN are not trying to capitalize on. You've got circles on the left, circles on the right, Supers flying out left, right, center. But with all the resources burned out, that Suzuku does have an opportunity to get back inside the mid, and it starts now. Big Sashimi Slash will connect.
Yeah, really nice. They wasted so much in that situation. And yes, you can shoot through walls now, but Batman just runs him down. Sosa knows he's not going to be able to come back up if he goes down, so he goes super aggressive and tries to make something happen, but it just didn't work. So much utility was kind of thrown out all at once. The Ziggy Gadget, Super, Chester Hypercharge, everything was missed. And then they just get pushed straight off the zone, and that's bound to happen. You've got to kind of measure that out, put it through at different times, rather than just throwing everything at them at once.
I think both teams fell for that. Siddhartha, Baraman, you know, just popping Hypercharge and then running it down into Chester damage. I think they started to feel themselves a little bit too much here. But KCN, as you said, they returned it right back immediately. They just saw they were like so desperate inside. Percentages-wise, they didn't stagger things out. They didn't want to wait. They just wanted to use all their resources to zone as much as possible. And honestly, I think put that situation with a better team, and maybe KCN might have been able to claw something back.
If it's better managed, they're 100% going to be able to, you know, do something more there, make it closer at least. You know, Zeta Vision quite a lot of the time are going to be pretty inevitable when they're playing these aggressive brawlers. They're going to have that breakthrough, but, you know, if that's a crazy raccoon in that kind of position, there's 100% a chance they're going to be able to hold Zeta Division off, not waste all that utility and win the game.
And you signed it with Zeta Division's comp anyway, right, Trev?
Obvious. You know, it wasn't 100% because they're just guaranteed to be winning these games anyway. It was the comp, Sonny, don't worry.
What I was super surprised about, they have a Ziggy on their own side, and then they open up the map on the right-hand side with their own Jester. That was kind of unfortunate. I think that's not what you want to have happened. With 0 kills on them as well. Very unfortunate that Meeple did not work out the way it intended. Yeah, after all, I think we do have a better comp on the left-hand side, but this match just also clearly showed that once again, individual play isn't enough. The Ziggy with 8 kills, but just no backup. It was the same story before in Gem Grab with Sosa. He played phenomenally well with that Mortis, but it's just not enough team play, communication, and that's what those younger teams might be missing.
They took a big risk there, picking Ziggy in the fifth.
Series is open.
Okay.
Oh, God.
Oh, my God. I don't even know where to start with this brawler. We've got already 3 picks coming in here, but yeah, rightly called out there, Sonny. How did this guy make it through the bans? What are KCN cooking? Are they cooking up their demise? Is this a speed run to 3-0?
This is his debut in the BSC as well. Series for the first time ever in an official match.
I mean, the good news is he's worse than he was, right?
Yeah.
Like, that's some consolation there. They go with the Brock, they go with, I believe it was the Bell, yeah, to round it out. So a couple of sharpshooters to go along with it as well. Obviously, if RT's able to get the hypercharge, if you're close to him, going to be able to do a lot of work. Jae Young going to be able to put him in those positions where he can thrive. But, yeah, I mean, it's serious, right? They should just win.
I guess so. I mean, on the left-hand side, we have so many brawlers in the field. Well, once Sirius gets going, he clones his opponents. We now have Jae Young. Do they want to pick up an aggressive brawler alongside him, speed him up, heal him? Could be an option here. Otherwise, Angelo technically open as well. Always one of the first picks too. Surprised we don't see him at all here. Mina. So it is going to be an aggressive brawler. That's going to be such an interesting match here. We have on the left-hand side a lot of range with the Brock. They can open up the map. Helps the Bell out, of course, and Bell also one of the counters towards Sirius. So it makes a lot of sense that they pick them up together. The bounces between the shadows would be super strong. But what do we really have on the right-hand side now to address the Sirius?
Nothing, if I'm going to be honest here. I think it's really just Could they have forgotten about it? I don't think so. I think they set themselves up with a nice 2-3 turn, and it is a viable comp, but at the end of the day, as you said, it is a series that they're going up against. And with a debut match like this, we're going to have to see whether they cook too hard or if they're going to get cooked.
I mean, for me, the Mina's just got to be super careful not to feed over and over and over again into the Syria so it can get out of hand so fast. Just playing a range game at the moment. Syria's trying to get a few of these shadows back to his side, ready to use in those important situations, but it's just a bit of a stalemate at the moment. Playing it slow, and RT knows he's going to have someone pretty close to be able to do loads of work.
They do have pretty decent answers in the end game if they want to deal with Baraman's shadows, but I don't even think that's what Zeta will be going for. Interesting to note, though, if you look at Suzuku here, he does seem to be running rocket laces, not opening up the map, just wanting to preserve as many walls as possible, treating Sirius more like a thrower.
Yeah, I mean, it's smart to do, you know, having him sort of in these less harmful situations, hiding behind walls, but now he's getting pinched in quite heavily. Sosa was given a bit of a way through the mid there, but didn't really take the opportunity. Shitampo's going to go down. Batman will place a couple of these shadows. There's the Weekend Warrior from the Jae Young, and he might go down here. Some good shots coming in, and Mark onto the Mina as well, who places that windmill, tries to stay alive, but will fall. Sosa barreling forwards now, and he's getting so much done. Shield on him as well. Suzuku's one, and he gets the kill. Somehow, Zeta come out on top. I thought KCM were just going to be able to wait that one out and the gas would do its job. But Zeta, regardless of having a bell go down so early, still win it.
Amazing setup there from Zeta Division. I mean, they kind of capitalize on a very, very crucial timing. There with Shitampo going hyper aggressively on Mina, and that was, I think, the only way to really play it out there. Even though he did fall there, he got so much value, managed to push Mina back far enough to allow for that setup. Now with this hypercharge back in the present, they're gonna connect there onto them, but no real value being extracted from there. I'm not sure if that's really the best use of that super.
Gadget was used there as well to bring Suzuku even lower. So close to Jae Young going down, but narrowly survives. I mean, it's not a bad thing to have that mark on the support brawler. He's just going to be kind of in the back lines for the most part, but he does seem to be going very aggressive. Great little reverse polarity there. Finds the connection on Sosa. Wall break coming in definitely helps, or grass break, sorry, definitely helps Zeta Division to scout people out a bit more. And they're serious. Having a field day here, just getting so many shadows off the Mina and pushing him straight back.
Oh my god, one more tap on the Mina will do the trick. It's just gonna come from the shade. The Jae Young Shadow is gonna get the kill there. Sosa's trying to be a desperate play onto Shitampo, but honestly, KCN are just imploding here. Did they have an answer to the series? I think not.
It didn't seem like it, Spoon. I'll say that. I'll say it really didn't seem like they had anything going on there, to be honest with you. Very worrying in terms of performance here from KCN, and it looks like they're going to be dropping out of this competition super early on. In terms of gameplay, Zeta are all over them, and this is with them stepping out of line a few times as well. They've had a couple of unnecessary deaths in this knockout, and they're still winning.
they're not playing the most, pristine of Brawl styles here, to be honest here. And when looking at the drafts, Zeta aren't also icking out like a massive edge. It really is a pure skill diff. It's Siddhartampo, it's Butterman, it's Suzuki just saying we're better. And looking at this knockout set, they've already sort of locked down their lane assignments. We realized there's a little bit of musical lanes happening in that first round of the last game, but now they've locked in Siddhartampo on the RT, Butterman is going to be on this Mina duty, and they're so comfortable.
It doesn't seem like they're in much harm at all. Mina's kind of had a few dashes here and there, managed to get a kill onto, I believe it was Shitampo that he managed to kind of pick out, who over-aggressed a little bit, but I'm sure he'll be a bit smarter towards that situation happening in these next couple of rounds. Obviously, it is match point, so if Zeta do win this one, they're going to be going to the semi-finals and waiting for their opponent of the next game. RT, pin back into the right-hand side. Good aggression coming in. Batman should be able to get that kill and spawns 2 Jae Youngs to go along with it as well. Mina trying to get some work going, but it's just not going to be enough. Sosa left all alone, and all members looking pretty healthy on top of being alive for Zeta Division.
It's inevitable. The Goliath does win a majority of the time here. Zeta Division now 1 round away from punching a ticket into the semi-final. KCN, though, they are starting to shift things around. It looks like they won the Mina on the Brock. They finally figured out that that's the better matchup. Kudos to them, but is it too little too late?
Seemingly so. It does seem like they're doing too little too late in terms of swapping, and don't get me wrong, they swapped a lot of lanes in other games as well, but it just seemed to be the wrong direction to go. Sosa just clipped by that super, and the Brock breaks up that bush, stops them from navigating the right-hand sides, which makes the swapping of lanes be a bit less discreet for the side of KCN, but seemingly sticking with what they've got now, and Batman finding a couple of connections. Going to want some of those Mina shadows to be brought in this late game, and now Jae Young starting to make a move with this slipstream, but nothing done just yet.
The timing that KCN need to capitalize is the late game, but the pre-late game is what Zeta Division is strong at. Suzuki is going to be taking a lot of hits here, but the rocket lasers will get him right out. Now big hypercharge there from Siddhartampo. The timing for Zeta Division is starting to run low here. Mina's going to miss the big kick there onto Siddhartampo. That should have been a kill. Big fumble there from KCN, and their hopes, their dreams in this monthly final will end. An applause from Siddhartampo, widely deserved, but what we expected.
Yeah, I mean, in my opinion, Zeta Division gave them chances there. They really did. They were like, here, have a round, have a game. But they're just not taking the chances that have been provided. Some over-aggression, some overconfidence definitely showing through from Zeta Division. But if you can be super overconfident and win, why not?
And Zeta Division with that continues a run that they have already showed us here in February and March. 3-0 in February in the quarterfinals and the semifinals, and then the grand finals. They dropped a single set in the first month overall. In the second month, same story. Once more, quarterfinals 3-0, semifinals 3-0. Then they lost in the finals to Crazy Raccoon. So maybe nobody can stop them until we actually reach the grand finals.
That could be the storyline today as well. I think the next match for Zeta Division will certainly be a lot more competitive, whether it's SK Corellas or Reject that they go up against next. But at the moment, I am seeing the Zeta return to form, right? This is the Zeta Division that we expected. This is the Goliath storyline that we've been hyping up the entirety of the year, and fully expect that going into the Brawl Cup, which they've already qualified for, by the way, this is a great warm-up for them.
Yeah, I mean, it really is. They're in a great position at the moment where they don't have to perform here, right? But they're going to want to get the points on the board, as we mentioned earlier. LCQ doesn't seem likely they'll probably be going to that, but World Finals later on in the year is something that they desperately need to get points on the board for. Strengthen this lead when they're in top 4.
1 match down. We have 6 more for you today. So quarterfinal number 1 at 3-0 in the end. Let's see if the other ones are going to be a